I felt it recently, and I think you might have felt it too. The coming of one hell of an incredible performance. The first Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer, released in July, is one of the very best of the year. Epic, action-packed, emotional. It looks like it's going to be a truly amazing sequel. And the part of the trailer that really floored me, that made me go home and watch it again over and over, was that monologue near the end we get from Ramonda. I am the queen of the most powerful nation in the world, she says, and my entire family is gone. Have I not given everything? In 12 seconds, the one and only Angela Bassett rips out your heart and brings tears to your eyes, the pain and grief she's feeling so clear in her voice. It's a stunning moment in recent movie trailers, one that got me thinking about what a great talent Angela Bassett is, and all the tremendous work in film and television she's given us for more than 3 decades. This is a woman who should have all the awards by now, the BAFTA Award, the Emmy Award, and yes, the Academy Award. She's been so good for so long, and yet here we are in 2022, and Angela Bassett's lack of trophy wins and nominations is seriously bewildering. She's gotten lots of Emmy nods in the last 20 years, including 2 for American Horror Story, but still not a win. She received a well-deserved Oscar nomination in 1994 for her dazzling performance as Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do with It, but she didn't win, and she's never been nominated for an Oscar since. And don't get me started on BAFTA. They didn't even recognize her for What's Love Got to Do with It. Like, really? Are you shitting me? Angela Bassett is one of my favorites, an astonishing woman who defies aging, like, seriously, an actress who just keeps getting better, taking one risk after another, both in front of and behind the camera, and when it comes to awards, the woman simply hasn't gotten her due. Why didn't she win the Oscar for What's Love Got to Do with It? What are some performances she's given before and since that should have gotten more awards consideration, but didn't? And does she actually have a shot at an Oscar nomination for Black Panther Wakanda Forever? We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it all. If you're a fan of Angela Bassett, you've come to the right place. It's time to talk the amazing career of Oscar nominee, multiple Emmy nominee, and Golden Globe winning Angela Bassett, and why she still has never won that elusive Oscar. First, let's start at the beginning. Angela Bassett was born in New York City on August 16, 1958, to Mother Betty and Father Daniel. In high school, she was a cheerleader and a member of the drama club, her interest in entertainment growing as she got older. In 1980, she received her BA degree in African American Studies from Yale University, and in 1983, she received her MFA degree from the Yale School of Drama. Her first television credits included the TV miniseries Double Take, along with small roles on The Cosby Show and 30-something. Her first film credit was in 1986's FX. This was the project that got Bassett her Screen Actors Guild card. She continued working steadily, appearing in a whopping 8 projects in 1990, including Kindergarten Cop, but her first breakthrough came in 1991 as Reva in John Singleton's Boys in the Hood.
Now, it's my time to talk. Of course you took in your son, my son, our son.
This acclaimed Oscar-nominated drama put lots of people on the map: director Singleton, Cuba Gooding Jr., Regina King. As the no-nonsense mother of Trey, Bassett finally got a rich movie role to sink her teeth into. Better yet, she shared scenes in the film with Lawrence Fishburne, an actor who would be very important to Bassett in the years to come. In 1992, Bassett appeared in major projects like Innocent Blood and Passion Fish, but it was Spike Lee's highly acclaimed 3.5-hour epic Malcolm X that continued her rise to stardom, Denzel Washington the lead of the film, Bassett playing his wife Betty.
Get an ambulance! Get an ambulance! Somebody get an ambulance!
With lots more screen time here than she got in Boys in the Hood, Bassett finally got recognized come awards time. She didn't make it in at the Oscars, where Ruthie Carter was nominated for costume design and Washington was nominated for Best Actor, but she was nominated for Most Promising Actress from the Chicago Film Critics, and she won the NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture. At the time of the film's release, Bassett reportedly felt her career had peaked, and that she would never receive a role as good as Betty again, saying, "I think I have been incredibly blessed, and it is probably just all downhill from here." Well, clearly Angela Bassett didn't know the extraordinary role headed her way, because just a year later in 1993 came the release of What's Love Got to Do with It, in which Bassett played Tina Turner to hypnotic effect, so real and raw, in one scene after another, showing off her dancing and dramatic power. She is a force to be reckoned with in this terrific film.
Come on now, I'm asking you nice.
And I'm saying no nice.
You know
I mean,
you
come
want some of
on.
this cake. Come on, piece of cake. Piece of cake, yeah.
She got an audition for What's Love Got to Do with It soon after Malcolm X, which she talked about on Tamron Hall.
Reuben Cannon was the casting director, and he actually had one of her CDs, a sepia tones, CD. And I remember him opening up the Phoenician blinds, putting it, the sunlight coming through and putting it up sort of, and looking at me and looking at her CD cover and looking at me. And I think in that moment deciding if he would let me audition for the role.
She beat out Halle Berry and Robin Givens for the role and only had a month to prepare before shooting began. She collaborated with Tina Turner on her wigs and outfits and makeup, and for the film, she teamed up with her Boys in the Hood co-star, Lawrence Fishburne, who played Tina's husband, Ike Turner. The film was a commercial and critical hit upon its release in June 1993, making $40 million on a $15 million budget, and many of the major critics gave it rave reviews.
This is a powerful film, and it is powerful on both levels. It is powerful on the personal level and on the musical level, and Angela Bassett does a terrific job of embodying the amazing energy of Tina Turner.
Now, its summer release might have prevented the film from getting any Oscar buzz by the end of the year, especially that year, 1993, when so many great dramas were released in the fall, like Philadelphia and Schindler's List. What's Love Got to Do with It wasn't going to be nominated for Best Picture or Best Director, but the work from both Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne was so brilliant that it just couldn't be ignored. First, Bassett received a Golden Globe nomination for Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. She was up against some considerable competition, like Meg Ryan in Sleepless in Seattle and Stockard Channing in 6 Degrees of Separation, but then the presenter Pierce Brosnan said this.
Angela Bassett.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Thank you. Oh, Jesus, thank you. Oh my God, I mean it. Thank you, God. I want to say hi, Mama. I love you. Thank my mother, my entire family, all my wonderful friends, the greatest co-star I could ever imagine, Mr. Lawrence Fishburne. I love you, Lawrence. Thank you.
What a speech. What a moment. Clearly, this award meant a lot to her. A few years before, she was playing a flight attendant in Kindergarten Cop, and now here she was, winning a Golden Globe, and suddenly a serious threat at the Oscars. Everyone wanted Bassett to be nominated for the Gold Trophy, including the critics. In their annual memo to the Academy, here, once again, are Siskel and Ebert.
I'll tell you how good Angela Bassett was. At the end of this film, we get to see the real Tina Turner in the picture, and my reaction then was, and it is now, is that necessary? I felt I had seen the real thing with Angela Bassett, a brilliant technical and emotional piece of work.
Well, Gene, I feel just as strongly about Angela Bassett as I did about Larry Fishburne in my choice for Best Actor, and I agree with you totally. This is a woman who should be nominated for Best Actress. I think it's one of the, really, in terms of musical biopics, it's probably the best performance I've seen.
This was a big deal for Angela Bassett to make the final 5 on Oscar nominations morning. Only 5 African-American women had been nominated in the category before. Dorothy Dandridge for Carmen Jones in 1955, Diana Ross for Lady Sings the Blues, and Cicely Tyson for Sounder in 1973, Diane Carroll for Claudine in 1975, and Whoopi Goldberg for The Color Purple in 1986. And sadly, none of them had won. Bassett gave the kind of revelatory, earth-shattering performance in What's Love Got to Do with It that had the elements to take it all the way, and thus, thankfully, she did indeed make the final 5, the other nominees being Stockard Channing for 6 Degrees of Separation, Emma Thompson for The Remains of the Day, Deborah Winger for Shadowlands, and Holly Hunter for The Piano. Her main rival going into the night was absolutely Holly Hunter. Channing was on her first nomination, and 6 Degrees of Separation received nominations in no other category, so a win for her didn't seem in the cards. Deborah Winger didn't win Oscars in the 1980s for the bigger hits, An Officer and a Gentleman, in terms of endearment, so she definitely wasn't taking home the gold trophy for Shadowlands, which only showed up in one other Oscar category, Best Adapted Screenplay. Emma Thompson had just won Best Actress the year before for Howard's End, so a double victory was going to be unlikely. I believe if Holly Hunter and The Piano hadn't been in the picture, Angela Bassett would have become the first African-American woman to win Best Actress at the Academy Awards. She had the Golden Globe win behind her. There was a lot of passion for the film. Lawrence Fishburne made it into the incredibly competitive Best Actor category, and Oscar voters love to reward performances based on real people. A win for Bassett would have been a well-deserved record breaker of the highest order. But alas, there was Holly Hunter, who was always going to win the Oscar in early 1994 because of 4 main reasons. First, she was a previous nominee, having been recognized for her brilliant performance in 1987's Broadcast News. It always helps to win an Academy Award if you have a nomination or two already in the books, showing the time has come for a victory. Second, she was nominated for 2 Oscars in 1994, one for The Piano in Best Actress, and one for The Firm in Best Supporting Actress. Being double nominated doesn't always result in a win. Just ask Sigourney Weaver, who received 2 Oscar nods in 1989 and went home empty-handed, something that still irritates me every time I think about it. Yes, get ready for more about Weaver in an upcoming Elusive Oscar video, but having 2 nominations in the same ceremony can often give voters the push to give you something. Third, Hunter won most of the precursor prizes leading up to the Oscar ceremony, like the Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama, and she went on to win the BAFTA Award for Best Actress too. Sometimes the Globe winner for musical or comedy does win the Oscar, but more often than not, the gold trophy goes to the winner in the drama category. And then fourth, and I would say most importantly, The Piano was a massively adored film, and it overperformed on Oscar nominations morning, receiving 8 nods total, including Best Picture. Jane Campion became only the second woman in history to get a Best Director nomination, which was a huge deal. When the young Anna Paquin became the surprise winner for Best Supporting Actress, the race for Best Actress was over. Hunter had it in the bag.
I am so overwhelmed. To be with that group of actresses, it just slays me.
Which is a shame because, like I said before, a victory for Bassett here would have been awesome, groundbreaking, a fantastic win for the history books. Maybe if the film had been released in December instead of June, she could have had more of a chance. Maybe if the film had been released in 1994 instead of 93, Bassett could have beaten Jessica Lange for Blue Sky. I don't know. Nearly 3 decades later, there's still sore feelings that Bassett lost the Oscar. Her fans wish she could have taken it, of course.
For What's Love Got to Do with It, Angela Bassett had to learn how to talk like Tina, how to walk like Tina, and how to dance like Tina. Holly Hunter just had to learn how to look sad on a beach, something we've all done.
And Bassett herself has been refreshingly honest about her feelings towards that Oscar race, too.
Won that one?
Holly Hunter.
For the piano?
Piano.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Playing a mute. Playing the piano. I mean, she was fine. It was fabulous. But let me tell you, that dancing, that body, that emotional, that whatever, I just,
yeah.
It called on a lot.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
But it's okay. This was only her first Oscar nomination after all. There'd be plenty more where that came from, right? Right? Here we are, 28 years since her nod for What's Love Got to Do with It, and Angela Bassett has still never been recognized by the Academy since. It's not for a lack of great performances or worthy films. She's done so much great work since the 1993 Tina Turner biopic. Let's dig into some of the best. 1995 was the next big year for Angela Bassett, with starring roles in 3 major films by 3 major directors. Vampire in Brooklyn was the least of the trio by far, although it gave her the chance to work with Eddie Murphy and the horror maestro Wes Craven. Strange Days is a superb, underrated science fiction drama co-starring Ralph Fiennes and directed by Kathryn Bigelow, the story of a former cop turned street hustler who uncovers a conspiracy in Los Angeles in 1999.
Look, this is your life. Right here, right now. It's real time. You hear me? Real time.
For her performance, Bassett won the Best Actress Saturn Award from the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films. Her most successful movie from 1995 was absolutely Waiting to Exhale, which teamed Bassett with Whitney Houston and director Forrest Whitaker, the film following 4 African-American women and their relationships. Bassett's memorable revenge scene is a clear standout.
Started that damn company without me. Hell, I worked my ass off.
The film was nominated at the Grammys and the MTV Movie Awards, and it won 4 NAACP Image Awards, including Outstanding Motion Picture and Best Actress for Bassett. The film's December release date made it a prime candidate for Oscar consideration, but it was frustratingly omitted, even though Bassett should have been in the running. The first film I ever saw Angela Bassett in, when I was 12 years old, was the 1997 science fiction drama Contact, starring Jodie Foster and directed by Robert Zemeckis, in which he appears in a supporting role, but the following year, she got another dynamic lead role in 1998's How Stella Got Her Groove Back, about a stockbroker who takes a first-class vacation to Jamaica and falls for a younger man, played by Taye Diggs.
Will you be going to the pajama disco tonight?
The what?
We wear our bed clothes and, we party, we dance. We have a good time.
You can't be serious.
The film was a modest critical and commercial hit upon its release that August, and Bassett went on to win another NAACP Image Award for Best Actress. She closed out the decade by collaborating with Meryl Streep and her Vampire in Brooklyn director Wes Craven for the Oscar-nominated drama Music of the Heart, but that wasn't all for Angela Bassett, not by a long shot. The next 2 decades brought so many more excellent performances from Bassett, both in film and on television. A couple of TV movies in the early 2000s brought her lots of awards attention. Ruby's Bucket of Blood, about a Louisiana juke joint owner who loses her star entertainer and hires a white singer to fill in, brought Bassett her first Screen Actors Guild Award nomination. She lost this trophy to Judy Davis. That same year, Bassett's acclaimed turn in the TV movie The Rosa Parks Story gave the actress her first Primetime Emmy Award nomination. She lost this trophy to Laura Linney. When it came to movies the last 2 decades, Bassett's had her share of big projects and terrific dramatic performances. She was in Olympus Has Fallen and Mission Impossible Fallout. She does great work in 2009's Notorious, and she's fantastic in the underrated 2006 drama Akeelah and the Bee, which reunited her with her What's Love Got to Do With It co-star Lawrence Fishburne.
So you actually think Akeelah has a chance to win the National Spelling Bee?
Yes. Yes, I think she does.
But for the most part, her finest acting roles in the past 20 years has been on television. Bassett appearing on Alias and ER, and then receiving a second Screen Actors Guild Award nomination in 2014 for her performance in the TV movie Betty and Coretta, about how the widows of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. carry on as single mothers after the assassination of their husbands. Interestingly, Bassett this time played Coretta Scott King, while Mary J. Blige took on the role of Betty Shabazz, who Bassett played in Spike Lee's 1992 film. Some of her most memorable work as of late has been on American Horror Story, for which she received 2 Emmy nominations, first for American Horror Story Coven as Marie, a legendary former voodoo queen, and second for American Horror Story Freak Show as Desiree. Bassett found a new audience with the Ryan Murphy series, joining a stellar stable of actors, including Sarah Paulson, Kathy Bates, and Jessica Lange. Bassett has gone on to receive 4 more Emmy nominations in the last 5 years, 2 for narrating documentaries, and 2 for guest star appearances, the first for Master of None, where she played Catherine in the episode Thanksgiving, and the second for a Black Lady sketch show, where she played Mo in the episode Angela Bassett is the Baddest Bitch. And then I can't fail to mention one of my favorite shows of the last few years, the kind I can turn my brain off for, and just enjoy a wild ride week to week. I'm talking Fox's well-paced, highly entertaining 911, in which Bassett plays the no-nonsense Sergeant Athena Grant. The show can often be about the action and the spectacle, but the writers always take time to flesh out the characters, giving them stakes and drama, and often harrowing backstories. My favorite episode of the series by far, one that featured Bassett front and center, was titled Athena Begins, where we learned young Athena decided to become a cop instead of a lawyer because she fell for an LAPD officer who soon after they were to be married was gunned down in a random gas station robbery. For 30 years, Athena didn't talk about her late fiancé, but the truth comes out when the murder weapon resurfaces and Athena is ultimately led to the killer. The one moment in the series 911 that has ever brought tears to my eyes is the scene of Athena coming home after turning the killer into the authorities and breaking down crying, unable to hold in her emotions any longer. This episode was a stunning performance from Bassett, one I thought was worthy of another Emmy nomination. In the world of film, I would say the closest Angela Bassett ever came to potentially receiving a second Oscar nomination was for her role as Ramonda in 2018's beloved blockbuster Black Panther, one of the most acclaimed Marvel movies ever made, and one of the most successful with critics and audiences.
My son was married in ritual combat.
And although Bassett was never singled out for her performance at any of the major award ceremonies, she did get to finally take home a Screen Actors Guild Award trophy when Black Panther won Best Cast at the 2019 ceremony.
Obviously, we thank SAG-AFTRA for this moment of appreciation and celebration of this film. Thank our director, Ryan Coogler. He's a genius.
A few weeks after that, Black Panther overperformed at the Academy Awards, becoming the first Marvel movie to get a Best Picture nomination, which was especially astonishing given the film opened in theaters way back the previous February. Black Panther won 3 Oscars that night: Best Score, Best Production Design, and Best Costume Design, the latter for Ruthie Carter, who received her first nomination in 1993 for Malcolm X, also starring Bassett. How cool is that? Sadly, there was an area Black Panther just couldn't crack that award season, and that was individual nominations for its acting, not for the late Chadwick Boseman in lead actor, and not for Angela Bassett in supporting actress. But all is not lost. The road to Oscar victory for Bassett isn't over yet. As of this recording, we are weeks away from the release of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and yes, I know, it's hard to make awards predictions based on a trailer, but I feel it deep in my bones. If the Black Panther sequel is as good as the first, and likely, with Boseman's passing, lots more emotional than the first, there's going to be some truly stunning acting from much of the cast, most especially Bassett. Her delivery of that monologue from the trailer is mind-blowing, truly. If she has even one more scene in the film as powerful as that one, I think we're in for not only one of Angela Bassett's best performances, but also, maybe, her second much overdue Oscar nomination.
Do you need that kind of validation, though? Does Angela Bassett need the validation of any
Who don't like validation? You know what? Angela Bassett wants and needs to keep working. To do the work that I love doing. You know, awards are nice, super nice. They're great, but awards are awarded by men, and you know, I appreciate the awards, but I don't live and breathe for them.
Now, there's one crazy big hurdle Bassett would have to overcome for this to happen. No actor from a Marvel movie has ever been nominated at the Academy Awards. I thought Chadwick Boseman deserved a nom for Black Panther. Didn't happen. I thought Robert Downey Jr. should have been nominated for Avengers Endgame. Didn't happen. Thus, it might be wishful thinking on my part, on anyone's part, to think Bassett could actually receive an Oscar nomination for a Marvel movie, and a sequel at that. But how incredible would that be? And how well deserved? It doesn't seem outside the realm of possibility. Let's cross our fingers. Whatever happens next, Angela Bassett is an extraordinary talent, and how lucky are we to have her in the world of film and television. No matter what she shows up in, she always brings her A game, always shows off something new, and I would really love to see her win an Oscar someday, sooner rather than later, even if she's not sure herself if it will happen.
Can we play a quick game?
Sure.
Of impossible versus possible.
Okay.
Okay, so you will just answer if it's possible or impossible. Okay,
gotcha.
First one, Thanos is finally defeated.
Possible.
Okay. A woman becomes president.
Possible.
Yes, and you will finally win an Oscar. Possible or impossible?
Now, that's the one I can say impossible to. Possible.
Yes.
Possible.
I want to believe that Elusive Academy Award is in the cards for Angela Bassett, and I'm hoping, especially since you've reached the end of this video, that you feel the same way too. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what's your favorite Angela Bassett performance. Do you think she should have won an Oscar by now? See you next time.